Alright guys, how's it going? It is Wednesday, the 28th of April 2021 and you're watching KopTalk.tv. Alright, you're alright guys. So I've just did quite a long video actually for those of you that support my YouTube channel. I think it was an hour and 4 minutes long. But you know what? It was all about like one subject really, which was to do with the report that came out 4 days ago, whatever it was, saying that FSG had rejected an apparent £3 billion takeover bid for the club. It was to do with that, where that report came from. It was also to do with, I touched on the Chinese interest. And, you know, I think it was going back to April 7th when I first mentioned or was contacted about the possible interest in it came out of the blue. You know, someone buying the club 7th of April, or being interested in buying the club 7th of April. Like now, it wouldn't be a surprise, would it? Because you'd say, well, there's just been all that European Super League shite, like, you know. So you know what's gone on at Arsenal. There's someone trying to, you know, well, declared that they'd be interested in buying the club. The chap from Spotify, I've got his name here, actually, Daniel Ek. Or what, Ek? I don't fucking know what sort of names are. So like now it's obvious that people are going to try and buy clubs, but don't forget that supposed interest in Liverpool was supposed to be in a couple of weeks before all that ESL stuff kicked off. And also, you know, I had the interest from the suggestion that there might be interest from China and all that. That was a few weeks ago. So when I mentioned it on the members website, I was like, look guys, I don't know, I'm just putting it out there, and look what's happened since. Unreal, isn't it? You need to watch that video. I think it's a good video. And I know what you're thinking. You think, well, you're going to say that at your chubs because you just want us to. No. Sometimes I'll say it to, you know, many people will tell you at the end of my podcast episodes, my videos. I'll say I enjoyed that. I thought it was alright or it was shite, but it was a good video. I think. Well, I'll soon find out anyway, because they'll soon tell me. Not that anyone on the internet would ever fucking know. I want to talk to you about Stan Collymore. So I bought the Mirror newspaper recently, and I haven't bought the Mirror for ages. I used to buy it all the time. But I got a bit sick of all political stuff, do you know what I mean? It's quite expensive out here. How much is it? $2.20 or something like that. Let me have a look. $2.95. €2.95. €3. What's that? About £2.70 something. Sterling. That's disgusting. Lovely cup of tea. Hang on a minute, I'll turn it round. We're getting a better bird on. Eee. In case you're wondering, I'm having Yorkshire tea, biscuit brew, tea bags that were sent to me by John McCafferty, who is one of my supporters. All right, John, good lad. He sent me about 160 tea bags, so you can't get them out here. I think he paid more for postage than he did tea bags. He's never let it drop. Oh, yes, he wouldn't take it out for them the money for the postage. Right, so I don't get the Daily Mirror very often. Now I'll let you into a secret, right? You can get these, right? You know, like now. So that's $2.95, right? The Mirror newspaper every day or whatever. And I'm sure it's more expensive on a Sunday, but you can obviously get a digital subscription delivered to your tablet, your iPad, or whatever, probably for about £5, £7 a month, right? Which ain't, you know, that's not too bad, is it? When you think that's three a day. And the thing is, I don't like reading a newspaper on a tablet. I like the old paper, the print. Do you know what I mean? I'm going to let you into a secret. So I was like walking around. Is that some shite on my eye there? Fuck off, will you? I mean, I ain't got the best of looks anyway, but I'm going to try a little bit, haven't I? Let you into a little secret. So I was walking out house the other day. Now I don't know what you guys are like, right? But when I go to loo, I like to have a good read of something, do you know what I mean? I don't mean like, you know, Escort magazine or Fiesta or Big Boobies, this and that. I don't even know if they make all them magazines anymore. I'm sure they do. Do they make them anymore? But I like to read newspaper when I'm having a didgeridoo, a Michael Knight, a Threepenny Bit, Pony and Trap. Do you know what I'm saying, guys? So if you ever see me with a newspaper around, you know I've been for a right good banging shit. Anyway, so it's quite funny actually, because I was like, I'm off to the supermarket to get myself a newspaper so I can come back and have a good. It's a true story that. Anyway, so I got to Stanley's column, and I don't know. This is Tony Blair t-shirt, by the way. It's taking the piss out of his hairstyle yesterday. I thought it was a good day to drag this one out, get this one out. So Stan Collymore, the man who always speaks his mind. This is very true, and I like a man that speaks his mind, especially in this day and age when you can't say fucking anything to anybody without offending them. Now, the thing is, Stanley, as a Liverpool footballer, was a very good player. I was very excited when we signed him. Now, did we sign him for 8.5 or 9.5 million? I've got to think it was 8.5. I can't remember. It was years ago. But I remember it flashing up on teletext because we didn't have the internet back then. And it was between us and Everton, I think, at the time. And I remember it flashing up, and they used to put it in great big text on teletext saying Collymore signs for Liverpool, something like that. That's how you got your fucking news back then. God, I even used to write a column on teletext about Liverpool. That's how old I am. And Stan for Liverpool, I thought he was a great player. I mean, that Fowler-Collymore partnership was brilliant, wasn't it? If you remember it. If you don't, go on YouTube and have a look. It's fucking brilliant, honestly. It was a very good partnership. But you see, this is what I was going to say something now, but this is how you can offend someone, because what I was going to say was, he was a bit of an oddball. Now, when you say that, and because we know what's come out in the future, we know that Stan has struggled with mental health, and I would never take the piss out of that, right? But they were the sort of things you say, was actually a little bit different, a little bit odd, but a bit of an oddball. Like, not loop-de-loop or anything wrong with him, you know what I'm saying? He was fucking great, I thought he was mean. But he was one of them players that he didn't really seem to fit in, I think. And I think people would admit that. Oh, fucking feels all shite, doesn't it, these lights? And a bit like, I don't know, like Michael Owen was like that as well. When like Robbie Fowler was one of the lads, everyone loved him, and that Michael Owen, his face didn't really ever fit. And I think, I'm not so sure about Stan, what the fans thought of Stan. But it just seemed to me that the players weren't too keen on him, and I don't know why. I have no idea why. Anyway, when I say, listen, please don't think I'm taking a piss when I say oddball, or what I mean, because I don't mean that. I have my own mental struggles. Honestly, I do, guys. A couple of months ago, I wanted to fucking do myself in. It's been a shit year. I haven't seen my family since 2019. It's getting right on my tits now. But enough of me for now. But Stan as a player, for me personally, I thought he was fucking great. I liked him, and he has had struggles, and he's been controversial. He's been caught up in various incidents, shall we call them, over the years. Excuse me, but I'm not one of them people. I just think people make mistakes. We've all made. Sorry. We've all made mistakes in our lives, me included, you know what I mean? Worst thing he did was get caught dogging. I mean, I'd never go dogging. Anyway. Fucking dogging. Oh dear. Stan, so he's had controversy. He was a bit different, I think, as a footballer. I mean, come on, how many footballers, he sort of walked out in his career and stuff like that. But I've kind of always really liked him as an individual. He does speak his mind. However, I'm going to say this. When it comes to racial issues and stuff like that, sometimes I think Stan maybe makes things a little bit worse. Now, I know it's very easy for me to say as a fat white bloke, talking about, a black bloke or whatever, and racism and stuff like that, a subject that I've never been subjected to. Like racism. I mean, I've been called fat bastard loads of times, though, you know what I'm saying? Do you remember when Ryan Babel threatened to bend me over and bum me with a cheeseburger in my mouth? Now, that weren't very nice, was it? There's no one going down on one knee. Well, they wouldn't do in front of him, would they, if he was saying things like that? Anyway, but with Stan, I'm being serious here. Stan always has an opinion about racism, and rightly so, and he's entitled to do so, and so does John Barnes. But between the two, I find them very different. John Barnes tends to come out and goes, I don't see that as racist. Whereas he comes out and says, that's fucking racist. Do you know what I mean, guys? And sometimes I think that when people raise race, the issue of racism, it can make people worse. It can make ordinary people like me, like my best mate's black. All racists say that I've got a black friend. No, my best mate's fucking black, right? But it can make people like me go, oh, for fuck's sake, Stan, fuck off. There's nothing wrong with that. So he doesn't like, he doesn't like, what's the word? He just doesn't like it when minorities and stuff like that are singled out. Yet, I see him always taking the piss out of people from Yorkshire, because I'm from Yorkshire, you see. Yeah, North Yorkshire, the nice Yorkshire. West Yorkshire, East Yorkshire, South Yorkshire. Don't even go there, guys. North Yorkshire. And Stan always calls them Yorkies. So he calls people like me Yorkies. Now, that doesn't offend me, because I like a Yorkie bar. Oh, a Yorkie bar. Hey, did I tell you? I lost all that weight? Well, during the pandemic, over the last year, I've put 33 pounds back on, so we won't be having any fucking Yorkies around here. I started it again yesterday, all right. Notice my thumbnails are a bit more... Anyway, so he calls people Yorkies, and I always think, hang on a fucking minute, you're always pulling people up for having a go at like certain groups, not just, you know, black people and stuff like that. But I always think, what's that all about, Stan? How come you can go around being prejudiced towards Yorkshire people? I'll tell you why, because he's obviously suffered abuse when he's played in Yorkshire as when he was a footballer. All right, I get it. It doesn't offend me. It doesn't matter. Stan Collymore is one of them people that are, you know, at Stan Collymore, it says here on Twitter. Now, most people at this point will go, yeah, if you can see his account because he's got me blocked. He's one of them, like that. Who's that absolute... Owen Jones. That Owen Jones has got me blocked on Twitter, and I've never even said a word to him in my life. Can you believe that? I think I said once his name, but didn't at him, you know, include his username, so he would never have seen it unless he was searching for it. So he must search his own name, and I just went, that Owen Jones, he's a bit, you know, he's not doing the Labour Party any favours these days, is he? That's all I said. I weren't abusive to him. I'm not like that. Blocked me. Do you know Liverpool Football Club have got me blocked as well? It's true, guys. It broke me out, that, yeah. It's not the club, is it? It's just some snotty little shit that's a bit fucking, you know, that I've upset at the official LFC website over the years. I've never followed Liverpool Football Club on Twitter. I've never interacted. I never would follow them anyway. It's propaganda, isn't it? I would never do that. Yet they've got me blocked. I see that as kind of like a bit of a trophy, to be honest with you, because it means I'm a bad boy. No, it doesn't. It just means that some snivelling... You know, he's gone like that. He offends me. I'm sat in this office all day, and he's, you know what I mean. So anyway, Stanley. Yeah, he's one of them. I follow him on Twitter because I'm not blocked, because I would never be abusive towards him. I might be after this video. But he's one of them that I follow and then unfollow again. I follow him and I think, what's Stan got to say? I love it when he talks about football. I think he's great. I think he was really good when he was on radio, honestly. I think he tried a podcast. I think that bombed. I don't know. But I think he comes across as a nice lad when he's not getting hyped up in you know, I was going to say, you know, reading black and white, but that it'd be like that, black and white. Did you just say black? Did you just say black? What's wrong with the blacking? It's like, whoa, just calm down, Stan. And that's what he's like. So I find myself following him and unfollowing him. I'm following him at the moment, I think. I'm not sure. Anyway, so with racism, he's obviously always got an opinion on it. And it says how football can solve problem of anti-social media, because we've also, you know, we've got this media blackout now. Is that a waste of time or what, guys? Let me have my cup of tea, because I'm not giving up my cup of tea for you fuckers. Thanks, John. That says 3 days. That's how long football's latest stand, he's emphasised stand, against racism will last in the form of a social media blackout. And 3 days at that over a bank holiday weekend, a time when most people will be doing anything but engaging on social media. Frankly, it's not going to make a lot of difference, right? He's right. I said this over there as well. I love this shit. And I think he even says here something like to do with football accounts, you know, soccer. It's something like 1% of Twitter's or social media's demographic, is that the right word, or topic or whatever. The Americans, that Jack from Twitter, at Jack is his username, he won't give a flying fuck what they do about soccer. Do you know what I mean? He won't care. And like he says here, Stanley says football Twitter is a tiny millifraction of an American company, in the belief that less than 1% reach globally of English football's social media accounts is going to make a difference, is tone deaf and cocky in the extreme. And he goes on to talk about all this, and he's right. And I mentioned this when we had the big fallout of the European Super League, and you know I'm not one of these soft gets, but I did say in that video, I said the only thing is, it's a shame people aren't so vocal when our boys, our lads, footballers or whatever, suffer racial abuse. Now when I say our lads, our boys, I don't just mean at Liverpool, I mean even Man United, right? Even them. Even them, that's funny, innit? Because that makes them sound really bad. I mean Man United, you know what I'm saying? Them, all of their players. International, any racism, nothing really ever seems to get done, does it? You've got people throwing bananas and doing monkey things and all sorts, man. And we're just like, that's shite, yeah. Oh, so what, get on with it. People, not me, I don't say that, but you know what people are like? They just say, so what, get on with it, let them sort it out. And then the UEFA or whoever come in and do nothing about it. Yet we have this, the European Super League, and we were all up in arms and it got done straight away. And I can't help but think, I wish people were a bit more vocal about stuff like that, but there you go. Oh, my computer's gone. black. Fuck off, Stan. Don't wind him up. My screen went dark. No, can't say anything. But anyway, I kind of agreed with what Stan was saying, that this is a load of shite. I mean, it's the same with this getting down on one knee stuff. I mean, I could never do that, guys. I struggle enough as it is when I put my socks on. Do you know what I mean? It takes me half an hour to get off the floor. So to me, like, this taking the knee, I just think that is a load of shite. I mean, it might have started off as a good thing, right? You know, raise awareness. They're still doing it now. My mate, right, we were in pub a few months ago and he went, 8 minutes. I went, 8 minutes, what? He went, 8 minutes, he said, on Match of the Day highlights that I had to watch people kneeling. Right? And you know what I mean? He loves everyone, but he's like, he's just doing me head in. The point is, if I thought he'd make a difference, I would support. I'd be like, yeah, do it all the time. Absolutely. But I just think it's virtue signalling nonsense. I really do. And these footballers and football governing bodies that are going to give social media a swerve for a few days, they'll be back in a few days. Who cares about that? That's like you lot going, I'm not watching your channel for 3 days out of protest. First of all, I'd go, I don't care. But you're coming back anyway. So this surely isn't about going quiet on Sunday. You know, there's so many. I've seen so many football supporters on Twitter going, "Oh, thanks, lads. Yeah, we'll get to know a team at weekend." And then everyone's going, "What? You don't have Sky?" And he's like, "I support such and such down divisions. They're not going to tell me who's starting." You know. So it's just like, surely the only thing really is pressure on government, isn't it? Is that not the thing? Pressure on government to say, if you don't sort your shit out, you know, to the social. I'm trying not to use many swear words because YouTube keeps telling me off. If you and you have to self-certify your videos, and it says swear words in the opening 30 seconds. Even when I don't look, I just go, yeah, obviously. You know, they need to say to these social media companies, if you don't sort it out, we're just going to block you. And the thing is, if I upload a video clip, including, you know, any Premier League action, football action, a picture of the ground, the audio, anything, gone like that. But if I go on there and go, hey, you know, some racial slur or something, that'll stay on there probably forever. Well, they'll close it. I'm sure they'll delete it. But how can I get away with it in the first place? Why are keywords not blocked? You know what I mean? I don't understand that, mate. Why do they do that? So, this ain't going to work. That's all I'm saying. It ain't going to work. Getting on your knees, your hands and knees ain't going to work either. The only time it's going to work is when enough people come together and say enough's enough. Do you know what I mean? And surely that's got to be with politicians. And me personally, I think you should have to confirm your identity on social media. Now, I read an article the other day. It might even have been in this newspaper. It probably was earlier on, actually. There was some horrendous abuse that someone had been subjected to, and I've had my fair share over the years. You lot that know, you know, 15 years, 16, 17 years ago, I had some right nutters stalking me. Do you know what I mean? You know, you upset someone, there's some right creeps out there. But you know, to the point of like police being involved and you know, threatening my kids and everything. There's one here. Look, I don't know if you can see this. Anonymous trolls accused me of being a drug dealer and a paedophile. Facebook did nothing. And then it goes on to say that, you know, Facebook or someone says we can't, you know, we can't force people to, you know, to register, so to speak, because some people don't have photo ID. That's what they said. But you know what? And there is an argument that maybe some journalists in certain countries it would be at risk. So, but surely they can register and then use an alias or something. I don't know. It's about the social media networks knowing who's who behind each account. So why do we have to present photo ID? Why can't it just be a case of, you know, if I try to do something sometimes online, financially it'll say, well, have you got a credit or debit card, just to check your number? You know, even if they don't take any money. It's a form of, you know, like just confirming who you are. So why can't they do that? Because they don't want to do it, because there's obviously something in it for them. And I think that the more hate on a platform, the more people engage and interact, because you get all your haters, and then you get all the people responding to them, going, hey, knock it off. You know what I'm saying? Yeah? So the only way that you're going to get this, the only way this works, on going quiet on there, hang on, I've got a message. What's he come? Oh, right, yeah. Sorry. The only way that this is going to work is if Nike Adidas, these sort of companies say, we're going to go quiet globally. And because don't forget, it's these companies that put their money into these social media platforms. That's the only way to hurt these people. It is. And I think it's wrong. I think it's terrible that someone can go on there and just run the mouth at someone. I mean, look, I don't mind this, but people run the mouth, we know that. We're not all, wussies or whatever. But it's not funny, if you know what I mean. I can't even contemplate what it must be like being on the end of racial abuse all your life and shit like that. Do you know what I mean? It's easy for us to go, well, I just think that the way that they're handling it is, I think that also aggravates people. It makes ordinary people like me get angry when people like Stan come out saying stuff that I think there's no racism in that, Stan. But there you go. Anyway, so his article, I thought, was pretty spot on. I thought, yeah, he's right what he said. It's not going to make any difference. And he says here, anyone who wants to be on these social media platforms must be verified. No verification. Goodbye. But then I started to disagree with this bit. He sort of went off a little bit. And he says, we also must move away from this growing America-like obsession with military links creeping into the game. And I'm like, what military links? Straight away I was thinking, I don't get it. He says, I'm all for a minute's silence, a wreath and the last post at games, but why they need to have poppies on shirts now? Now! They're not creeping in now, they've been there for it. What do you mean? No, Stanley. No, I don't agree with him here. Why the need for camouflage third kits? Well, maybe the opposition can't see you. Football is about getting away from the real world. Yeah, but you don't get away from your history as well. I've never understood. I don't see the poppy as a political thing. I mean, hey, don't get me wrong. If you live in a country, maybe if when we start talking about troubles in Ireland and stuff like that, I get it. But I don't know, that's a subject for someone else. But in England, in your own country, you should be able to wear a poppy. Whether you know what I mean. If I wear a poppy, I would do it out of respect. As a child, at school, you had a little poppy and things like that. No one came in your head that side going, yeah, but do you know what your country was like back in 1630? It's like, what? I'm just paying a respect to my granddad. That's all, mate. And then they've got poppies for animals that have died in war as well. You know what I'm saying? So I didn't understand that bit really. I don't understand what the harm in that is. It wouldn't bother me. If there was any kind of, I can't think of an equivalent really. But if black players, for example, wanted the old fist on you, some sort of symbol saying, kick it out or whatever, I wouldn't offend me. I'd be like, yeah, all for it. I don't know. And see, I think that BLM, the Black Lives Matter movement, I think that aggravates people as well. Did you notice that when I did that? That's the Stephen Gerrard. Have you ever seen him in an interview? I just think they should have stuck with kick it out and show racism the red card, because they're two genuine anti-racist organisations that have begged for publicity and funding over the years. But the BLM movement I'm talking about here, Black Lives Matter, yes, it does. Absolutely, yes, they do. And I know some people go, yeah, well, white lives matter too. Yes, they do, but black people aren't saying your life doesn't matter, right? They're not saying that. Don't get sucked into that nonsense. But I just think the BLM movement, is political if you look into it all. And anyway, I don't want to discuss all that shit. Look, make love, not war. That's what I'm about. That's all I'm about. Listen. So I agreed with what he was saying there, to do with the social media blackout won't make any difference. Social media blackout. I weren't even trying to be. But I didn't understand what he was saying about stuff creeping into games. I mean, who remembers Robbie Fowler with the old T-shirt? When he was looking for the local community, when he did, the Dockers and all that. Today there'd be hell on, wouldn't there? I mean, he got into a bit of trouble back then, but Robbie Fowler didn't give a fuck, did he? I just can't think of anything really in a game. I don't understand what he's talking about. I mean, maybe I've missed some. I've not been watching football since fans were kicked out at stadiums, really. So maybe I'm missing something. I don't know. I got another message. Come on, what was this? Oh, that's fine. What else was I going to say to you? Right, so another thing that Stan mentioned in his column was bye to Big Six owners. And he says, I wonder if any fans of the Big Six have the guts to start getting supporter groups together to revolutionise English football and buy out their clubs. So, first of all, we know there are supporters groups. I rejoined Spirit of Shankly the other day because of this fallout again. Like, I mean, I don't always agree with the way some of these organisations work, but I just think, well, their heart's in the right place. So I just thought it might help them, really. But yes, it would be good to see them come together. I get that. I've made videos recently saying I can't even think of, one organisation that represents everyone. And there are them, and I've been following some on Twitter recently, but I think your typical average fan doesn't know them. Anyway, he says, it seems hard, doesn't it, about getting supporters groups together to revolutionise English football. That's what I mean. It seems hard, doesn't it? Especially since the owners of those clubs have artificially bumped up the value of their commodities to the sort of level it would seem nigh on impossible for the average fan group. What, you mean like a £3 billion bid that didn't really exist? Although there was a bid, though, there has been some interest, right? But you need to watch that other video. It's a fucking great video. And he's put, to make it impossible for the average fan group to get anywhere near, meaning that, that clubs are inflating the valuations because they're just taking the piss, really. He's put, but it's not impossible. And if Liverpool or Manchester United supporters with their global fan base gathered some momentum behind a fan ownership campaign, it would be game over for the sole ownership model. To dare is to do, as I believe someone once said. And I agree with the romantic side of what he's saying there. Fan ownership like the German model and all that would be fantastic, as Brendan Rodgers would say, right? But excuse me, I'm not letting it go cold. I'm back in my studio now. That's why I'm making videos again. It was a tip in here last few weeks, but I've tidied it up now, so we're good to go. All right. I do apologise, but my tea's going cold. I agree with what he's saying, like fan ownership, brilliant. But it's very naive as well, isn't it, to expect that, like Fenway Sports Group, for example, to go, yeah, we'll just give up 49%, or was it 51% or whatever, you know what I mean. The club will just give it up to the fans, right? So first of all, that's not going to happen. Why would they want to do that? They would resist everything. But even if you said, all right, even if FSG went, yeah, we want £3 billion, right? How do fans raise £3 billion? Come on, Stanley. It's a great thought, but even I'm not that daft, honestly. I mean, I don't know. When the club was available for sale back in the day, when David Moores had the club, and we were talking about this on a live stream on here the other day, it was available for money that many businesses could have found really back then in organisations, but that was back at a time when real fans were sort of like owning clubs and stuff like that, and now we've sold out to all these. I hate using the word foreign, but they are foreign in the terms of the foreign to football, or to the city of Liverpool, for example. So the romance of the ownership is all gone. And the good thing that has come out of this European Super League drama is the fact that the fans are now saying, we're not having it anymore. And I think that, and it's not just the fans didn't just win that, the media did as well. The media were really on this. And also, your Nevilles and, your Gary Nevilles and your Jamie Carragher's and people with a voice and a big audience were even speaking up against broadcasters and things. Even Gary Lineker, see, I like Gary Lineker when he played for England and all that. And he's a bit of a funny sod on Match at Day, but he gets on me. And all, when he's on, he's like, I don't know, so much stuff he comes out on Twitter. He's a bit of a loony lefty, I think. Now, that doesn't mean if you're left that you're all loonies, right? And it doesn't mean if you're right that you're all like walking around with Nazi symbols on or anything like that. I'm not saying that. I'm talking about the extremists. But I think it's very easy for him in his big mansion to have an opinion about what. Anyway, Gary Lineker even said, if this did happen, I would not front such a programme. Do you know what I mean? So, and then he got slaughtered for saying that. Oh, wait. But at least his heart was in the right place, I guess. So yeah, I mean, I don't know what this video's about really. My screen's gone to a less brightness level, Stan. I don't know what this is about really. I mean, even like I'm trying to have a bit of a laugh and a joke and informal about it. But I think, you know, if he'd watched this video, he'd probably be offended by it and say, this is why, because it's making an issue into a light hat. It's not. I fucking deplore racism. I really do. I can't stand it, man. You know? I hate it. I don't understand in life how people can be like that. I just don't get it. Honestly, and if you're watching this and I don't get it. Honestly, I think life surely is just about whether you're a good egg or not, whether you're a good person. You know, when you're on a bus, you stand up, let someone else sit down if they're older than you, or a lady, or a child, or something like that. If someone's struggling with the carrier bags, you help them, you lift them, you carry them. You do your good deeds. You just try and be a good person, don't you think? If you've got a spare bit of change, you put it in a charity box. Be a good person. What does it matter what colour skin you are? You see, sometimes people will say to me, you know, blah, blah, blah. There'll be some drama on news and they'll say, this black lad or white, especially American news, yeah, shot dead by a white guy or shot dead by a black guy. I always think, why do you have to tell you what fucking colour they are? Is that all about? Do you know what I mean? I don't see colour in anyone when I look at them, man. I think it's great that we've all got different backgrounds and heritage and stuff like that. Don't you guys? I don't know. Same when it comes to religion. I'm saying about I couldn't give a shit. Look, leave me alone. I don't care. I'd defend anyone, mate. You know, from bad. That's what I think. It's just being about a good person. But Stan's obviously been on the receiving end of a lot of abuse over the years. But I also think that he's maybe been on the receiving end of a lot of abuse over the years because of the way he is. And maybe some of the things he's done, you know. I mean, I've had some shite over the years, and it's probably because when I've run my mouth and stuff, you know, and you learn from it as you get older. I will say this, though. I do like Stan. I think his heart's in the right place. I like him. I do like him. I think he's brilliant when he sticks to talking about football. I do, with the exception of saying that we can't have puppies on the pitch and kits and stuff like that. That's been going for decades, and I don't like it when people start changing things and we forget about things. But there you go. Maybe you guys have got different opinions to me. I'm an old git, aren't I? But I do like when he talks about his football. I think he was great on radio. I really do. I think he was great on radio. But he's a bit touchy. He's a bit trigger happy on his Twitter account with blocking people. And I think a lot of people, if you ask your friends, I bet there's people in comments on it to go, I'm blocked. But there you go. So I don't want to. This isn't about knocking Stan. This was about, all right, you know, I've read a newspaper for once when I was having a big shit, and I saw Stan, and in fact that's the last page I left it on. You know, because he does interest me, and I like Stan, and he was a good footballer, and that's all I'm bothered about. Be a good person, be a good footballer, be a good egg. You know what I'm saying? So I don't know if this video. I don't even know if you like this video. To be honest with you. Well, if you don't like it, you know what you can do, don't you? Yeah. What's that? Hey! The shit in my cup! Don't you be giving me that hashtag me too. Right, guys, so I'm off now. So I'm going to be churning some videos out this week on here, alright? Don't start crying because I'm doing something for the members. If it worked for them, we won't be here. You know what I mean? Someone's got to pay for electric, and I'm doing, you know what I'm saying? And my facial cream, my Nivea facial cream. I know what you're thinking. You think it's not working. Well, it'd be worse if I worked for Nivea that sponsors Liverpool Football Club. I don't know. I read that when I was taking time out the other day when I read this Tuesday. It was yesterday. Bloody hell. When I was taking it, I just thought, I really want to make a video about this. Basically, I'm trying to say I don't think that this social media, lockdown, blackout, boycott or whatever will make any difference whatsoever. I don't think it'll make any difference because they're going down on one knee. I think people are sick of that now. The only way it makes a difference, I think, is if the sponsors of these football clubs come together. And the fans can come together, absolutely. We can do that. I'll do anything. You know, if you said to me now we can join this organisation, let's all chuck a couple of quid in, raise some publicity, let's get stuck in, yes. But these social media companies, they make a fortune, they don't give a shit. The only reason they get rid of stuff like the the Premier League clips and things like that straight away is because they know they'll get done financially. They'll get sued. So if they're starting to think they're going to get sued because of racially allowing racial, that's the word, allowing racial abuse on their platforms, not allowing it, so to speak, but like not really taking it seriously. If they start to get threatened, then the way that the Premier League jump on you, if you upload a video, they'd soon change then. So for me, the only way you fix this issue on social media, one is by verification, just like a card or something like that, bank card or something. And if you, I'm only 30, I ain't got a card. Well, it's your own. When you're too young to be on there in the first place, aren't you? Then you're snivelling. I ain't got a bank card. Well, all right, have you got anything? I've got a library card. Well, if you've got a library card, that'll have to do then, won't it? But there's got to be something. So verification. But even taking that away, if you're going to, we're going to leave it open, we don't want to be censored and all that, and controlled by the government. Right, all them lot that'll come out, all conspiracy theories and that. If you don't want to do that, then these footballers, instead of not picking the phone up for 20 minutes at weekend, right, in between having a fucking threesome with some birds they've picked up, right, in some travel lodge, what they need to be doing is going to their sponsors and saying, hey, us, collectively, all as Premier League players, we're not having it anymore. So, Nike, so Puma, so Adidas, etc., 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 you go quiet on social media and you go to the social media companies and start putting pressure on them. Because it's all about that. That's the answer to everything, sadly. Right, I'm off. I don't know if it's a good video. I don't know if you enjoyed it or not. Please drop me a comment. I read all your comments, even the nasty ones, before I block you. We'll catch up, guys. I'm planning on being here tomorrow. If there's anything in particular you'd like me to talk about, please just drop me a comment, yeah? I've got a KopTalk podcast to do today as well. I'm running out of time, to be honest, because I need to go to the supermarket. I know you need to know these things. Right, is that it then? Yeah, that's it. All right, let me know your thoughts about it all. Let me know your thoughts about Stanley. Let me know your thoughts about the Blackout. Let me know your thoughts about the poppies in football. And if you I don't know. I mean, we've all got different opinions probably because of where we're from. I don't think someone in another country can complain to me about what I believe in my country and my country's histories. Unless maybe I was throwing them off fucking ships back centuries ago. Do you know what I mean? With breeze blocks and chains on their ankles. I get it. But what happened back then ain't happening now. Is it? You know what I mean? Well, I don't know, you say that. Nike's got fucking slaves and all that, haven't they? But what happened? Stuff that happened years ago, it's like, well, it's gone, learn from that. Don't do it again, bad people. Tell me I can't wear a poppy. He can go, we can't wear a poppy. On principle now, I want to wear the biggest poppy going. Right, okay, I'm off. I'll speak to you in a bit. Hey, if you like this video, thumbs it up. If you don't like it, thumbs it down. Yeah, because that makes my heart bleed when I get a thumbs down. And if you really like my channel, you could become a member of it by clicking on join. If you don't know what I'm talking about or you don't see a join button, please read the video description. All right, guys. Right, I'll be back in the morning. All right, and provided I'm around. Provided I'm around. If you've got some suggestions that you think that we can that can beat Stan's suggestions, then go with it. Not that I'm really sure. He's just saying verification, isn't it? Camouflage kit. He can't be wearing camouflage now. We might upset someone. Right, I'll see you in a bit, guys. All right.